Welcome students to this new lecture. In the last lecture we were discussing van der Waals equation, and then we saw that how to solve this equation, and we saw that it is a cubic equation and that can be solved by some analytical method, mathematical method, or if that method is complex then you can use iterative methods like this we discussed yesterday. Now today we will discuss a new equation, that is modified form of this equation, because it may be possible that its results are not very accurate, and it was developed in a very old time. After that so many modifications came, because you will see that if you are doing iterations on this, maybe that in some cases your iterations will fail, and failing of iterations means that when you will iterate it, then the value can oscillate between plus and minus kind of thing, or if it is oscillating between these values, then it means that it is not giving you result. It is called this condition is called that the solution is not converging, convergence problem. So all these things were taken into consideration, and this equation was modified. Then a new equation was developed that is called modern cubic equation of state. Modern. So this is modern cubic equation of state, and there are many equations in this category. The most important is Radlich-Kwong equation. Radlich-Kwong equation, and this equation is, its form is just like van der Waals equation, but a little advanced with respect to that equation. It is like this: minus a over under root t. So this is your equation, and a and b are constants that are calculated, or these values are found by experimentations or whatever for a particular substance. So now here we will use this equation now, because it will give you more accurate result. First of all, what we want to do, that we want to convert it into some cubic form, so that I mean to say that we have to use this equation for solving for the volume, but you will see that it's analytical. If you will solve it mathematically, then it will become very complex. So we will convert its form into iterative forms, and there are two iterative schemes for that. Two iterative schemes we will develop, one for vapor and one for liquid. So first we discuss this vapor scheme. For this, what we will do, that we will just first write this equation, Radlich-Kwong equation. So this is your Radlich-Kwong equation. Now you multiply both the sides with the term v minus b over p. Okay. So what you will get, I mean to say this way, multiply it by this factor here, and here also the second term you will, if you will multiply, then you will get minus p, and after then you multiply this here, then what you will get, this kind of thing you will get, v minus b over v plus b. Okay, so this is your multiplication factor. After then you solve it more, you will see that you can have like this. So after all the modification and simplification, you got this form of the equation. Now you can design your iterative scheme with this. Iterative scheme is this, that on the left hand side you take the new value, that is I plus 1 during your calculation, and on the right hand side what you do, that the same variable is taken as old value, like this. This is I. So this is the same kind of concept which we used earlier here. This is kind of concept. What you will do, you will start, suppose I is equal to 0, and then what value of volume we will take? 0 is equal to RT by P. First you will take. This is to remember that for vapor volume you have to take RT by P. This is just ideal gas law thing. And when you will get this value, you put this value in this like this. The scheme will become this way. So this way you can go ahead, and then you calculate V2, V3, and you can go like this until you get some stable value or equal values. So that will be your vapor volume. Now we come to the liquid iterative scheme. This is your Redlich-Kwong equation. I have written it again, and now use modify its form so that it comes into cubic form, like this. For example, you will do like this, that take LCM of all these things, then here you will multiply it with this. So it's very simple modification, just very elementary laws of mathematics you will apply. Then you bring this thing here, and like this. So finally you will get this form. You can do it to yourself and solve it like this. So you will get this form. Now you have to create some iterative scheme of this, but this equation is very looks complex and it's very big, so we think that we should make it simplified. Here we see that in this term there is no volume thing, so we can make it like this, that we can take that as, let's suppose this is equal to C. Okay, so we can write this equation this way, so that this equation will become very relatively easy to handle. This way you can write. Okay, now the iteration scheme you will form that in this scheme what we do, concept is that a single power of volume is taken on the left hand side and the rest of the terms are taken to the right hand side. This is the concept we are using here. This way. So now on the left hand side only V should be there, so divide all these things on the right hand side. This way I'm going to do it. Now write the iteration equation. On the left hand side the new value is written, and the right hand side write the old value. Now very simply you can make this form. So this is your iteration scheme. Here also for when you will start, it is for liquid, so what initial value you will take? You will take B, that is the constant, and now you can the first volume you can calculate this way, it is B cube will come now here. B is a constant that is given you in the problem. So this way you get V1 the same way you take value of V1 put here and we will get V2, and do it until you get a constant value, then that is the volume of the liquid. So now we will come a numerical problem. So this is your numerical problem. Here gas methyl chloride has been given to you, and actually it is chloromethane, as you already know. Methyl chloride is chloromethane, and its formula is so it is just for your knowledge, but we are not concerned with it at this time of the chemistry. And actually it used to be a refrigerant. It was a gas that was used in refrigeration, but now it is not used. Now it is a very important reactant in making various chemicals. So it is an important gas in chemical industry. And what you have to do here, that this gas is, suppose you can say that is in a cylinder, and this cylinder is, the pressure in the cylinder is this 13.76 bar. It's very high pressure, because normal pressure is 1 bar around us in normal conditions, but you can say that it is 10 times more. So this gas is at very high pressure, and the temperature is 60 degree centigrade of the. So at this time it is found that it will be in a cylinder both in form of liquid and gas. So when you fill some gas at high pressure in a cylinder, it is also you will see that there is also liquid of that substance in the cylinder and also gas. So this is called vapor phase and liquid phase. So in this question, what you have to do, that you have to find this volume, or you can say it is your vapor phase. So its molar volume you have to find. Molar volume is volume of the 1 mole substance, and the same way molar volume of liquid means volume of 1 mole of liquid you have to find. In a way you are saying that you have to find the density. Density is just reciprocal of molar volume, and all this data is given to you, and you have to use RK method in this to find this thing. And one more thing I would like to tell you, that if you will draw a PV diagram, so I always say that you draw this the diagram this way. This is your isotherm for liquid and vapor, and this is for gas. So maybe that your isotherm for 60 degrees centigrade, that is your methyl chloride is, maybe this is your isotherm. So what you have to do means where is your where are you actually, this is your pressure 60, what is your 13.76 bar is the pressure. So you are here actually, and the state of your cylinder is here. So you have to find this volume, that is the liquid volume, and the gas volume, vapor volume, you say it vapor volume. So what is this and what is this? So these 2 points you have to calculate, as you can see in the diagram. Here you can see that I have written the iterative scheme, and then first volume you will take RT by P, that is the, and then you put all these value in this thing. Value you can take from data of the question here. I am writing just the result now. Actually you will get here, if you will calculate, you will get about this centimeter cube. So this value you have to put in the equation. First you will get V1. You can say that now, yes, it is what I is equal to 0. So B you put this put, and in place of this V you put this value. So what the first value you will get, if you will calculate it, you will get 9 centimeter cube. After then this value you take and you put in this here like this. For the second iteration you will get V2, and now you will put here V1. So I am just writing the result. You will get 17 to 1.9 centimeter cube. So at this time you don't have to stop because there is difference in this, and after that when you will do, so here you can see that I have written directly the result, and I have done 5 iterations, and during the last 2 iterations you can see that the value is almost constant, 1712.8. so we will stop here, and we will select it as our vapor volume. So this is the volume of your vapor, and it is of 1 mole. It is also called molar volume, and it is represented like this. At this here you put superscript V. It means that it is the volume of vapor of 1 mole. It is important point that when you write this V, it means molar volume. It's not total volume. Total volume is written VT, total volume of the cylinder. So now we will come to the liquid calculation. This is the iterative scheme for calculating liquid volume, and you saw how we developed it. Now first you will start your iterations. Suppose I is equal to 0, then what value you will take? You will take it is equal to B. So how much is it? It is you can see in the question that it is B. How much is B? It is this 44.891 44.891 centimeter cube per mole. Now you can start your iteration, and you will calculate V1. Put this value in this and calculate C also. You put in this equation. So how much value you will get if you will calculate it? You will get it equal to 60.18 about centimeter cube of 1 mole of gas. After then you put this value to your second iteration. So you will get V2, and how much V2 if after you calculate it, you will get it about 66.04 centimeter cube. Now I am writing all the results. So here you can see the final result, and you can see that at last you are getting this. From here you can see that you are getting almost this constant value you are getting. So you can say now that the molar volume of liquid is 71.3 centimeter cube, and it is represented by this also, and it is the volume of 1 mole of liquid. So the condition is like this, that when you are having this methyl chloride in your cylinder, at how much was the pressure? It was, I think, 13.76 bar, and the temperature was 60 degrees centigrade. So at this point you will get liquid and gas, and the liquid, if you take 1 mole of liquid, then you will find that its volume will be how much? 71.3 centimeter cube per mole. And if you will take out gas, its volume, you will find 1 mole of gas. If you take out, then you will see that 1712.8 1712.8 centimeter cube gas is the volume of 1 mole of gas. And you can find that how much bigger it is. It is in thousands, and it is in only 10. So one more thing I will like to tell you, that here you can see that I have again drawn that PV diagram, because it's very important to when you should visualize things in this way. I have drawn isotherm. Suppose this is 60 degree centigrade isotherm, and this diagram is for methyl chloride. And then what you have calculated, actually you have calculated this point. This is your liquid volume inside the cylinder, and this is your gas volume, and it is 1712 this volume centimeter cube, and that was 71 centimeter cube. So you can see the difference between this. This is your liquid volume, and so it says that if you transport only liquid, if you take out this liquid and put it in a cylinder, then you can transport much more gas. That's why gases are liquefied for transporting, because of the less volume. Once there is difference, very much difference. 1 mole of gas is taking this much volume, and if you liquefy this, then this is taking only 70 centimeter cube, very small. So thank you very much for this lecture. Next lecture we will develop on the other things.